WWE fans, welcome in. This is Fabulous Wrestling Talk WWE WrestleMania 41 Night 2. And conspicuous by his absence, my tag team partner, Daniel Snyder, will be with us shortly. I'm Jeremy York. We're going to talk just some everything about Night 2. And there was so much about Night 2. There he is. We need to, we need to get We need to get you some entrance music. You're going to do that.
I'm here. I'm here. Said my name and I appeared.
Oh, that's funny. Yep. Uh, Another person's name was said, and he appeared, and then he disappeared.
Yeah,
But
we'll talk about
uh,
that.
we left off night one. We're going to continue that later on, talking about what could be a 2.0 version of that. But night number two opened up. I told you I was a pretty big fan of this match. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. We had an idea who we thought would win, but the way this whole thing played out, I thought was the best way it could ever be written, be played out, everything like that. And that, of course, is Io Sky defending her Women's World Championship against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. We easily knew that Io needed to continue to win because Bianca's about to be pulled into a different storyline, and Rhea was just kind of thrown into this for star power.
Yeah, and plus you wanted her on the card. Um,
Yeah.
this one, from what I seen, this one ended the same way another match later on this night ended. In a matter of what somebody's pinning somebody, and then the person that ended up winning interrupted that pin with the pin.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see this match as I was with Jeremy.
Yeah.
I was outside talking with my mother, and my wife happened to have WrestleMania on in the front room. I did not know she had it on. I
Yeah.
walk in and I'm like, "Hey, look, that's Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre." I'm like, "Did I miss anything?" She said, "Yeah, you missed the first match. A bunch of girls. It was a good one." I said, "Well, damn." So apparently, I missed a good match.
Go back and watch it.
I watched the ending of it just because I wanted to be
Okay.
able to. Yeah, that's how I kind of knew it was how it ended.
Yeah,
But
it was good. I mean, these are three of the better talents they have right now, and they went out and put on a show, and it was great.
And I mean, and well, I mean, like we mentioned in our show before WrestleMania, Bianca didn't need the win. Rhea did not
No,
need the win. Io Sky needed the win, but she needed to perform.
and
And
she
it was
deserves it. She's that good. A lot of
yes,
people knock her because her English isn't good. Well, you're just being stupid. I've been at other sports where they said, "Oh, that." I've been at a rugby game. We're a world class rugby player. We're talking this guy plays everywhere from South Africa to probably Pluto. One of the best. His position's hooker. He's one of the best hookers on earth by far. Only place it's legal to be as a hooker is on the pitch, and he is. But he was told a handful of times after games, well, you would probably be named man of the match for the TV broadcast, but your English isn't that good. He speaks better English than both of us. I was like, this is the stupidest thing. That is almost a racist statement. And Io speaks English just fine. She knows what she can do, and she goes out and just outperforms everybody. And she absolutely deserved this.
for anybody that wondered or thought that Io Sky didn't need the title. One of the reasons Io has the title is for what we've seen on Monday night.
Yeah,
She because Bianca going against that chick from NXT whose name I do not know, or Rhea going against her with Io Sky ended up going
Oh,
against the
oh,
NXT champion.
you're talking
Um,
about Stephanie McCour.
yes, 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 and that was a
You
great match.
you need to start watching on Tuesday nights.
I really do. Well, I was introduced to her and I was like, hey, okay, good match. And then they were later joined by Roxanne Perez
Yes.
and who and some chick whose name starts with a G.
Uh, uh,
Julia,
Ju-
Julia,
Julia.
Julia.
It
Okay,
it's spelled different.
it is. It's
I
spelled like
think
G
she's
I
from
U L I
Japan. She's
A.
from somewhere over that way.
But
She just
they
spells it
all
differently. But yeah, Julia.
it's and I think that's the reason Io. I mean, outside of being a great performer, that was weird. But it's also you want to introduce these NXT, and it would look more legit matches with her having the title.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, I'll be
great
honest.
match
Stephanie Vakora is very good. Her versus Rhea might be a teaser for a WrestleMania down the road because
down
it'd
the
be
road,
that good.
but
See, when
not
they
right
signed
now.
Stephanie, she had the opportunity to come to Raw or SmackDown or to go to NXT, and she didn't do one of those. Oh, I want to start at the bottom and work up. She goes, no, you signed me. You signed Julia. Roxanne's down there. Trying to think. Cora Jade's down there. Roxanne Perez. She starts going through, and she goes, they're loaded. I want to wrestle all of those
Yeah,
girls, and then I'll come wrestle these girls here. I want to go there first, and I guess that's part of why you should watch on Tuesdays. The women's division down there is
is
just
great. Is what I'm
it
seeing.
is it is deeper than the deepest ocean. It is unreal the talent that is down there. But we just knew that needed to happen. I like that wrinkle having Stephanie on Raw for one. First time she'd been on the big stage, and a lot of people are like, "Who's that?" I need to start watching because she
Yeah,
is really really good. Io is a great matchup for her. We could definitely see that again down the road. And you know, no harm, no foul. She goes one way, she goes the other way, and we all move on.
and we'll see where the other ones this leads to.
Yeah,
The second match, Drew and Damian in a Sin City street fight.
this was
Um,
everything and more that we thought KO versus RKO was going to be.
was a great match. I enjoyed. Like I said, I joined into it about halfway through. And they were just beating each other up. Two big guys beating each other up. Um, there we go. I
Got to do that
enjoyed
for my
it.
fellow countrymen.
Drew, it didn't hurt Damien to lose.
Not at all.
And Drew kind of needed the win as much as the L's as he's been taking. So it was a good match. I enjoyed it. At the end of night one, our show, our recap of night one, you said you felt like night one was better than night two. I have to
Overall,
disagree. I, I only disagree because, with the exception of one match on here, there wasn't a bad match.
I'm
There
not
wasn't.
saying there were bad matches. I'm just saying that it felt like night one was like more up here, where night two had some moments, some dips that they
Well,
come
see,
way out of. And there were some brighter moments on night two than night one, but I felt like night two a couple times took a breather where night one just went till their breath went out.
and I see it backwards because I felt like night one started off good and it ended good, but in the middle was a bunch of bumps.
Okay.
Where this one, I think it started off good and kept good, kept good, kept good, kept good, and then trash. But we'll talk about that trash when we get there. But yeah, it was a good match. I give a yeah. I wish I couldn't. I'll be happy when I won't be able to. I was happy for Drew, and I'm curious now
Yeah,
where both of them's going to go. I am curious where both of them's going to go. I think we'll find it out tomorrow night.
I think we will. And I would say Priest is probably.
Jacob Fatu, Drew maybe versus Jacob Fatu.
What about Logan? Priest Logan.
That would be interesting.
And we'll get to Logan in a minute. But
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just scrolling through the rest of the card and just looking at names, and I went, I'm yeah, I think Logan Priest would be good.
A little sidebar. Let's not try not to get too sidebar too much because we do got a lot to talk about, and there is
Yeah.
at the end. But I sent something to you, Karrion Cross, where he was talking. They
Oh,
need to use this man. Why are we not using him?
one of two things is going to happen with Karrion Cross because see, he looks and he's such a throwback and such a traditional, basically mixed martial artist. The dude literally wins MMA tournaments like jujitsu and everything in between all of his wrestling. He's
Oh, and
just
he's a
a
talker too. Oh my God, he's
he
great
is.
on the mic.
But he looked around and he's like, "Look, I'm doing everything that I was told to do. Everything you said, do these things and line these things up. And here's where I'll be." He said, "I do all these things." And he has a legitimate point. And he goes, Logan Paul, who's never done it before in his life, walks in and he's dang near headlining the show. He said, "You get these other people that just go and cause a big ruckus and fuss on Twitter or X, and they get an opportunity. He goes, and here I am doing everything I was told to do it the right way, and I'm not even on the damn card.
And he said, I even said, put me against Randy, which we'll get to that here
Yeah,
in a little bit too. So
yeah,
I understand why they couldn't put him against Randy though, because
yeah,
him, if he would have won against Randy, he should have got the win. And Randy, being in
correct.
his 20th, needed the win. I'm gonna say needed it, but deserved it.
They picked the right person for Randy. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yes, they did.
Absolute right person.
Back to the card. We can go to. What do you think about the Drew and Damien? You like it?
I thought it was really good. I thought, like you said, Drew finally got his payoff, the one he deserved 2 years ago during COVID when he was the champ, and just between the no fan thing and some other stuff, he kind of got a raw deal out of it, and it seems like he's been the whipping boy ever since. I think especially Damien was the right one to match up with him so that it looks really legit and really great, which it did. It was fantastic the way it came off. I think they both are dinged up. You may not see them wrestle for a couple of weeks apiece, but Drew finally could Braveheart stand on the mountain and just go, that one's for me.
And got him a selfie and a win.
That was great.
Yeah.
The most
Yeah.
un-Drew like thing I've ever. Just like
Yes.
if Karrion Kross come to the ring doing a TikTok dance. That's what that would have been like.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden Drew runs off towards this guy and he snatches the phone, and I was like, well, that's kind of funny. He took a fan's phone, and then they go, yeah, that's his
That's
brother-in-law
his brother.
or
Yeah.
his brother-in-law, something. And so he's like, oh look, this priest, and I was like, this Drew, we need this Drew. This is
I think
diabolical.
so
He
too.
finally flipped his lid right now.
I think
That's
so
the
too.
Drew I want to see.
I'm excited to see how where his next step. Um,
Yeah.
match three. Super excited for match three.
I don't
Um,
think we can call him dirty anymore.
no, nah. Dirty Dom, nah. Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. Penta
All
didn't
right,
need a win.
let's start there. Penta looked good in
Showed
his
out.
debut.
Yes, yes. I would say
We had
Penta
a
didn't
pretty
need
good.
a
I
win.
think I don't. Yeah, you didn't pick Penta.
Not pick
Uh,
Dom.
yeah, we both did. That's what I was thinking. Somebody else who made picks said Penta, and I was like, no, not the first one. I thought Finn more than played his role. His role was to basically be the
Take.
chaperone and make sure everybody made it to the end. And he absolutely made sure everybody was here when it ended and not down here.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like Finn was in the match for one reason. I say two reasons and two reasons only. Number one, he's the only one that could take a pin and not look weak. And
Yes,
number two, you have to get Dom away from Finn and him taking the
and
pin.
Judgment Day.
Yes, so that killed both. I mean, that knocked out both. You don't want Braun to get pinned because you don't want him being defeated. You want Braun to lose the title without being beat.
Because even though Braun was going to lose the title, he was getting promoted on Monday Night Raw, which we already talked about on night one, and we'll talk about again in a minute.
Yes.
He got
Penta,
promoted.
yeah, yes, he did. Penta, even though it wouldn't have hurt him, you're still trying to build him. So it's a good thing he didn't take the L. Zero, was that Miedo? That's
Zeto,
zero fear.
Miedo.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's how I work on my Spanish. I got a whole app about learning Spanish. I just watch wrestling.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
it
and Dom to get the win, and he was cheered the entire match. You would have thought he was John Cena 10 years ago. And that's what. Remember when I said when he used to get the thunderous boos, and yet you'd see everybody like looking at their phone, and I said they're pumping in crowd noise. He was legit getting some boos, not to the extent they were
not
saying.
the yeah.
You take those away, and you can hear the cheers, and even he was looking around like they actually like me. And he got to the press conferences and they were chanting his name, and he's like, it's kind of hard to be in a bad mood right now. I got this. And hey,
But
you
he
guys
kept
are great. And they're like, how are you going to celebrate? And he said the most Dom answer there ever was. He said,
taking tenders.
I'm going to get me some chicken tenders.
But
Because
he
apparently they
stayed.
go to these steakhouses and everything, and little 13-year-old Dom is still eating chicken fingers.
But yeah, but he stayed heel because when they were talking about him winning, he's like, "Of course I won." He said, "I'm I'm better than my deadbeat dad.
I'm the
Um,
best Mysterio and the best
yeah,
luchador here. He said something,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
still said the
He's
most heel
still
thing ever, and people just went nuts. And I was like,
yes.
"Oh, you're already in the gray area."
I said this before. I said this when we talked about leading into WrestleMania. I'm seeing Dom turning from the from Rocky Maivia to The Rock. It's happening.
It's kind of the
Um,
opposite. I mean, but he's not turning into. He's going from. He's not going to Rocky
no,
Maivia.
no.
He is
The way that
going.
the way the Rocky turned into The Rock is how Dom's going from dirty Dom. He's changing into Eddie Guerrero.
That's what he's doing. I was looking for the Guerrero shirt. That's what he's
Um,
doing. Is Eddie used to lie, cheat, and steal, and got booed and all that, and then
people
people
love
started to
when he
realize how great he was, and it just flipped. And that was Dom's moment. He just had his Latino heat movement right there.
Yeah, yeah. So congratulations once again. And this like now we've just had three matches, all three of them great. That's why I'm saying night two was better than night one because good match, good match, good match. Now we're going to four. I've heard some people say this was a squash. No, it wasn't. This was
No,
not a
no, it
squash
wasn't
match.
at all. No,
This was
Randy let Joe get some stuff in.
yes, yes, he did. And this was thank you, Randy, for everything that you've done. We're going to make sure you get your win. Also,
Yeah.
WrestleMania, WWE fans, welcome a potential new star. It almost, to me, it made Joe. Speaking of, they said his
Mhm.
name and Joe Hendry appeared.
I mean, I know I believe.
The I believe in him. The way they did it was beautiful. With how he did the and he turned around, he smiled and he stood there and he looked and then the RKO out of nowhere.
And then you just see, whew,
Yeah, it was great.
it's
It
like those
was so
videos
good.
where you see like the person sitting there and then like the cat comes into view and just like crushes them, takes them out. That's what it reminded me of because I'm like, oh, he's gonna do it, and he's like, well,
He took it beautifully. It was a
the only person that took the RKO better over the weekend was the
John
person
Cena
on
Monday
Monday Night
night,
Raw,
bro.
John Cena,
John Cena
because
Monday. Oh
look, we know we try to keep the when our mutual friend Billy, who was texting me throughout this on Monday night, because I actually watched it live for once. Normally I'm behind the feed. I was watching it live, and you see John Cena do this, and then John Cena goes, and we see Randy. We see Randy a
yeah,
mile away, and everybody's going crazy, and he turns around and Billy's text. Let me find it. I want to give him all the credit here because he is a recent welcome back convert. He has recently gotten back into wrestling at the right time. Okay, I'm going to water down a little bit of what he said just for the sake of the kids who may be watching. But he says, Cena having the presence of mind to yell shit into the microphone before the RKO. Brilliant. I've watered down the word he said before that. And that's he turns around and you see him go, shit. And I went,
yeah.
and he made sure the microphone's up.
Caught
Everybody
it
heard
where
him say it.
yes,
It made it seem as though he had no clue he was back there.
it was. And once again, you guys got to watch our shows.
Yeah,
Because I also called Randy Orton being one of the next.
you did.
No,
You did. We
yes,
said, what's next for Cena when he wins? Because we both picked Cena, and we're going to get into that in a minute. And you
yes.
went, oh, why not Randy? And I went, man, I would wait on that. But the way they did it, no, let's do it right now.
The next PLE is in Randy's hometown, or SummerSlam is. No, either the next one. No, Money in the Bank is. That's two nights. That's two PLEs away.
So something weird is going to happen at the next one, and the match two between them is going to be now. Now, to be fair, he's from St. Louis, Missouri. Is it in?
Yes,
Okay, so that's where it is.
it's
It's
in
not
St. Louis.
Kansas or anything.
Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Backlash is in Backlash. Oh, I'm sorry. Next PLE's in St. Louis,
Okay,
and
so it
I don't
is
know if you can see.
Backlash.
Yes, hold up. Let me see. You see that?
Oh, I partially see that. Oh, there it is. Oh
That's
yeah.
that's for it. It's
And
got
here's the
Randy.
thing: is I actually don't mind if Randy won
Why not?
because it shakes it up. John
Yes.
Cena says, listen to what he says when he says, I guess we're going to get in the main event now and we'll circle back to the other one.
Yeah.
But John Cena says, I am going to ruin wrestling. I am going to be the last what did he say, world heavyweight champion or WWE champion. He's not lying. He's not being a heel. He's saying he is about to flip the script and change it into a whole new era. He's going to kill the last era. He's going to start up this new one, and then he's going to ride the sunset and let the Seth Rollins, the Roman Reigns, the Braun Breakers, all these guys run with it. But he's like, this needs to end so that this can begin. That's what Cena's saying. He's technically not a heel.
Yes.
He might be partnered with The Rock, but he's just saying, no, I'm changing it for the better. You just have to watch. And I think somehow they're either going to put the belts together or they're going to start a new era a different way. And that's what Cena's trying to do. And if that means he immediately drops this to Randy, he can win it back down the road and get even further ahead of Ric Flair for all that matters. But all Cena needed to do was break the record. He no longer needs the belt. He can hand it to anybody he wants.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, and by the way, since we did talk about it, a fucking horrible ending to that match.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the match was okay.
Well, it was okay. I think it's hard because we haven't seen John Cena do that. When he was a heel, he was a street thug. So he just
Yes.
beat you up and he would maul you and he would attack you.
So I'm saying
When he does
the match
these
was
Ric Flair like tactics, we're not used to seeing it. Even though he's done them before, we just forgot he did them.
yeah. Well, for me, with the part that Travis Scott, bro, I could have went the rest of my life without seeing him in a WWE ring.
I want him to get waffled by something so bad, and I haven't come up with the
Cody's too
object
good
yet.
of a dude to do it, though. Cody's
He
too good
is.
of a
He's a
guy.
super guy, but he is like forget one of these things is not like the other. Like get off the screen, get out of the ring. Like it makes no sense for him to be there. In
Yeah.
fact, the only thing that it did with him being there, it made more speculation. I heard The Rock on a podcast or he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he said you wouldn't believe how my phone blew up when I'm watching WrestleMania from my couch in Florida or wherever he was at. I think he was in Florida. He said I'm sitting on my couch with my family. We're watching WrestleMania, and Travis Scott comes out, and my phone blows up. He said, including Pat McAfee, that was like, oh my God, dude, are you here? Because they thought if Travis Scott's there, then The Rock's got to be here somewhere. He said it was the craziest thing. He said, "No, bro," and he's like, "I'm screenshotting like me on the couch with like the dog and some Cheetos, just like I'm at home. I am not anywhere in that building."
Yeah, and Travis Scott didn't need to be in that building either.
No.
Yeah, the ending was horrible. We can make our way back up there because I don't care. I mean,
Uh,
John Cena won it.
I didn't hate the ending, and I agree with what Michael Cole said about it. I think he said it the best. And this is a Michael Cole answer. This is not Paul Levesque telling him what to say. This is not anything like that. This very much Michael Cole said, "Look, John Cena just passed Ric Flair for the most world heavyweight championships in a career. How many of those victories for Flair were clean? How many times did the
Well,
dirtiest
I'm,
player in the game?" He said, "So let's quit jumping on him for going dirty on this." He goes,
I,
"How about if you're going to pass the legend, you do it in his fashion," which is
I didn't
basically
care
what he
about it.
did.
I didn't care about him doing it dirty. I didn't like that Travis Scott was involved. That
Yeah.
was what
Yeah,
made
I
it
didn't like
ruined for
that.
me.
You take
I
Travis Scott out, and I thought it was fantastic.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the match ended horribly because it involved Travis Scott. If he would have cheated to win, I'm like, hey, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people cheating. If
Yeah,
you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's the
right?
Patriot.
That's NASCAR.
Um, yeah, but yeah. So it was a good match, and like the ending, I thought he would win. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah,
Um, oh yeah, what we left off on number 5. Let's see how much we got left. Okay,
we did, but let's go to 6 first.
okay.
Because, like we said, Lyra Valkyria was supposed to have Bailey as her partner. Bailey got attacked or got attacked. I don't know. I feel like to start with, I was like, oh man, that she must have got hurt on SmackDown, like a handful of them did, and she wasn't medically cleared. And then I thought about it. You have to clear the deck so that Big Time Bex can make her return. She does it with her friend Lyra, who she's trying to help promote, trying to help all this stuff. And I said, this makes the most sense. And as soon as she came out, I said, they're about to be the tag team champions. You said the same thing. And that's basically what happened. We got Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, who do have some good commonality. against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who are a fantastic team. I enjoy them. I almost forget that Liv was the former world champion. I almost forget that Raquel Rodriguez was like a 8 or 9 month NXT Women's Champion. She was dominant. But
They're great.
this
They're
was
great
this,
together.
yeah, it was two actually good fundamental teams,
Yes.
and it went really well. And then I think they remembered what we said is that if Dom is going to have a belt, Liv needs to have a belt, and they basically reversed this entire thing on Raw, only so that Becky could flip heel and attack Lyra, which is going to be a fun program, but it was so out of the blue and so against everything they did Sunday that I got a little upset about that.
I feel that they only put the titles on Lyra and Becky to make a rematch on Monday so that Becky could flip. You don't,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't,
they didn't want to do it at Mania.
yes, yes, because not, I mean, yes, even though everybody wants a Monday night thing. So that's why you had to put you're not going to have a rematch against a team that loses. This team loses, they didn't have the titles. So why am I
Right.
going to give them they've already beat you? But you are going to
Well,
have a rematch.
you get the WWE way too, though, that you'll get one person challenged for a belt 16 times over the
Yeah,
summer, and finally on the 17th time they win it, and the former champion doesn't even get a rematch, and you're like, what the crap was that?
yeah, yeah. Like
But
that's a Drew McIntyre thing. Um,
yeah,
but I think this happened strictly to set up the Becky turn on Lyra, um, which is it's going to turn into being part of something that we talked about in between tapings. I mean, we can talk about
I'm still not sold as that being that member. I think there's some other options too, but the suggestion I have for that group is not that direction. So,
so I mean we could go ahead. I mean, yes, there's one more
well,
match to get to.
about to say we cannot
We've got
forget.
8 minutes.
Yeah, we cannot forget Logan Paul, AJ Styles. AJ absolutely put on the show and showed everybody he's still phenomenal. He could
And
absolutely lose this match 100 times and it wouldn't matter. He's in that twilight, and he looks. He says Logan Paul is in
yeah,
a similar boat to where AJ was 20, 25 years ago. He's that young, hungry, skinny kid that will go to any length to put on a great show, and he's athletic, and I have no problem going go for it.
did you see the backflip off the mid rope that landed on the other side of the ring? Logan is so athletic. I'm low key ready for a title run, maybe him versus Jay, and him being the one that takes the belt off of Jay. Um,
I'm not I'm not opposed to that. And I'm a big Jey Uso fan, but if Logan Paul's the one to take it off of him, you talk about
yeah,
enraging Gunther even more.
man, what?
I
So
mean
yeah,
that may send him
great,
over the top.
great five star match.
Yeah,
Logan does
for
not
sure.
have bad matches. AJ does not
No,
have bad matches. It's gotten to the
they
point where
don't.
it's almost pissed me off that Logan doesn't have bad matches because he shouldn't be this good. He should not be this good. And
I
it
mean,
pisses off Karrion Cross
yeah,
too, who was there
yeah.
to stop that from. And I know Karrion is a little bit upset about that, but I know at the same time he's probably
He's more
cool
than a
with
little.
Logan in real life.
He's
Like
a lot upset about that.
but so Karrion was there. It's going to lead to a AJ versus Karrion storyline here. It'll be a
Mm.
backlash thing. That'd be some good matches.
If so, Carrion's gonna get fired.
But
I can see where this is going because I think there's some truth to the stuff he's saying, and he's going to accidentally get in that, and Scarlett is not going to be able to get in between him fast enough, and he might knock the whole front row of teeth right out of Logan's mouth.
well, I'm thinking it's him and AJ Styles.
Oh, Karrion and AJ, absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely,
yes.
do
I,
it.
I figured that's going to be the next. That's going to be the next.
Yeah, that's a matchup I wanted to see, and they were never in the same company at the same time until now.
It's about to happen. That's going to be the next storyline.
What do we got?
So
Oh, even better. 6 minutes. We've got 6 minutes to get
let's
into
do it.
speculation. So,
Okay,
Dangerous Alliance 2.0.
2.0.
We
That's what
know
I
we know Paul Heyman is the mastermind. He's got Seth Rollins, who all these guys can do things on their own. But with that guidance, watch how much further up they go. So right now we know it's Braun Breaker, it's Seth Rollins. We both think there's at least one, maybe two more members. Um,
I say Becky
I'll
because
let you
that's
go because
Seth's wife.
you're gonna have to Google my guy, and
Okay.
then I'll tell you who he is.
I say Becky because that's Seth's wife. So, and why not have them traveling together? They can have their daughter with him at all times. It makes sense for them to be on the same show. They've
I just
never
think it's
really.
weird to pair them up like that. There was another couple that I thought about, and I was like, I don't think I would pair them up because it makes them to me less ruthless if they're a big squad.
Well, I mean, and then, like I said, Austin Theory. I think it'd be a great push for Austin Theory to.
But I like the
And
female member. I like that. Yeah, there's
I'm
I kind of looked through the NXT roster and tried to see if there was somebody worth pulling up, and there's a couple that could fit, but they're all tied up and stuff. It'll be somebody off the main roster if it's female. As far
I
as
think
male,
there's going to be a total of 5 or 6 in this Dangerous Alliance 2.0. And I say 5 or 6
there
because you're
could
going to
be,
have
yeah, there could be 5 or 6. This could be a big group.
yes, it was you. I mean that. Remember, you had Bobby Eaton, Ravishing Rick Rude,
Stunning
Stunning
Steve
Steve
Austin.
Austin. Yes.
What Dan Spivey I think was in, or Sid Vicious. I mean, some of those guys were in it. Brian Pillman wasn't he in it?
I'm not sure. Let me look
No,
up.
no, I
Okay,
don't
no,
think he was.
it was Larry Zabisco and Bobby Eaton were a tag team.
Yep.
Ravishing Rick Rude, Arn Anderson, and Stunning Steve Austin.
Wow.
That group. So I'm saying Seth Rollins, Austin Theory could be the. So I think Seth Rollins is the Ravishing Rick Rude. Braun Breaker is the Arn Anderson, manner of just a badass. Stunning Steve Austin, that's Austin Theory. Medusa was part of it as well. I just feel like
I like the
that's
female
the
member wrinkle.
Becky.
I think so because see that's what I like on AEW about the Death Riders. I know you don't really watch AEW, but
No.
they got Marina Shafir as the female member, and up until about a month ago, there wasn't a female on the roster that would ever try to come out there with the men group. Like the men group would attack, and then nobody would try to attack her, so she'd just go and take everybody out. And you had to match up somebody with her. If you throw that wrinkle in, you force whatever team is going against you to have to find the female member that can combat you.
And who's going to be the tag team? Who's going to be the
Maybe there's
tag
not a
team?
tag team. Maybe there's not a tag team.
But you want this alliance to be able to have every world title, the United States title, the tag team titles, and the woman main title. You want them to be able to.
What's the team that could get elevated? But anyway, start. I don't know if you know who Charlie Dempsey is, but Google him. I want you to look at him. Hopefully, it doesn't say who he's
It sounds
related
very
to.
familiar.
He should look like his dad. He looks like a younger version of his dad, and Russell's a little like that. This
William
kid,
Regal, yeah.
yeah, that's William Regal's kid.
What about Ryan?
I
What
say
about
you take him
him?
out of that group and put him in
Him
this
and
one.
Flying Brian's son, Lexus.
Ooh,
That's the
what if you
tag
make this
team.
all these second gen guys? I mean,
That's the tag team.
yeah, what a team that. But thing is they don't team at all. They actually feuded for a minute because Pillman's kid took the trophy off of Dempsey. But about 2 minutes to go, we'll keep watching that. We might have to do, like we said, we're going to try to start doing these Raw and SmackDown recaps once a week. We
Yeah.
may have to get more into this next Thursday because there's a lot that we can get into, and man, I like the second gen thing there. And we got to figure out who the female member is. It could be
And
Bex. It could be. There's a couple. I don't. Roxanne would make a little bit of sense, but not a lot. I like her away from that.
what about
But
Julia?
I mean, Julia,
Or the.
maybe.
What about the Rock's daughters? Is she still wrestling?
I would say Cora Jade, but her and Braun Breaker had a really bad breakup in NXT. Like not on camera, they were off camera together, and
Oh.
so you can't put them together. But like she would have been a good one. But man, I know we're down to a minute, so
Down to a
we're gonna
minute,
have to
yeah.
get more into this at another time because
But we'll
we will end
start
up.
doing what I think we can start doing the The Friday on Thursdays, we'll talk about the previous Friday and the previous Monday.
Yep,
That's
because
what we'll
we can
have to
kind of
do.
preview the SmackDown coming up, and yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's good. Don't know if it will keep the same name or we will come up with something more clever and catchy. If you want to name our tag team or name our show, do it in the comments. I think they're here. They may be here. They could. I don't know. Wherever the comments are, tell us what you want it called,
Yes.
what you want to talk about. WWE wise, it's hard to get a lot of guests. I will go ahead and say that, but we will try our best if there's some people we can pull on. But more than likely, you will be staring at us two each week, and we will do our best. So, closing remarks before we get out of here.
Out of here. That's it. We're done.
Gooses, gooses. Go watch
Hi, guys.
wrestling. Go watch fighting. We'll see you guys
Watch
next
us.
week.